Mitt Romney's choice of Paul Ryan as his running mate is already paying off in campaign contributions. The Romney campaign says it has raised $5 million online since Saturday's announcement. We have more now of the team's first joint interview with Bob Schieffer on last night's 60 Minutes.
You made a point of praising Governor Romney for his accomplishments as governor of Massachusetts and at Bain Capital. I'm just going to put you on the spot here.
Okay.
Do you think he's been too defensive about Bain Capital and about his role as governor of Massachusetts?
What I see happening is the president has a terrible record, so he can't run on that. He didn't moderate his positions whatsoever throughout his term. So he doesn't really have much to run on, so he's going to try and run on these distractions. He's going to try and divide people, to distract people, to try and win this election, and that's why these attacks against a record that is outstanding. It's a record of creating businesses and turning around struggling businesses. That's what we want to see happen throughout the country because it creates more jobs, it creates better take-home pay, it gives people better futures. Why wouldn't we want a leader like that who knows how to make those kinds of executive decisions in the White House to help us turn this economy around?
What will be Congressman Ryan's role if indeed you are elected and he is vice president? Will you send him up to the Hill? Will you put him in charge of certain things?
Well, I anticipate that there will be certain areas that are his areas of expertise, and he has passion and concern there, that he'll actually take a lead role in helping oversee those areas. There may be some cabinet officers who will work primarily with a vice president. But he would also have a role in helping shepherd legislation on the Hill. Of course, you have a legislative affairs director that takes that kind of lead as well. But you can't imagine having someone like Paul Ryan, who's been able to work with Democrat senators, Democrat members of the House, as well as Republicans, and been able to make things happen there. I can't imagine not using him. And to have his skill in finding those people that can come together and find common ground despite differing views on issues. This is one of the key reasons I selected him, is that he has that unusual, almost a unique capacity to find people of different parties who are of a common purpose that can come together to do something that's right for the country.
Congressman, what's happened to Capitol Hill? Congress cannot seem to get anything done anymore. Even when there are things that both sides seem to want to do, they can't seem to find a way to get it done.
It's the worst I've seen it since I've been in Congress for 14 years. It starts, in my opinion, with a fundamental lack of leadership. President Obama has not provided the kind of leadership we need to bring people together. The Senate hasn't passed a budget for 3 years, even though we have a budget law that says you have to pass a budget every year. So it's dysfunctional. What we want to do, and we think we've done this in the House, is we're planting the seeds for bipartisan compromises on the big issues of the day to be realized next year so we can get things done. And that's why we think we need to have an election to give the country a choice, to put our country back on the right track. And then we need leadership to bring people together. He has proven it. When he was governor of Massachusetts, he had to work with Democratic legislatures to get things done. He did that.
You know, I must say, Governor, you did something that seldom happens in American politics when you announced that your choice was the congressman here. Conservatives were delighted. They said it was a bold move and a bold stroke. But I have to say, Democrats seemed equally delighted about this, because they said that they think that Congressman Ryan's budget plan, with its overhaul of Medicare, with cuts in social programs and education, it's just going to drive voters their way. How do you respond to that?
Well, what I respond is very simple, and that is America has a choice, a very clear choice. Are we going to continue to spend $1 trillion more every year than we take in, and pass that burden to our children?
There's no question your campaign has been trying to make this election a referendum on Barack Obama. Now, some people are saying you are making it a referendum on Paul Ryan's budget plan.
Well, I have my budget plan, as you know, that I've put out, and that's the budget plan that we're going to run on. At the same time, we have the record of President Obama. If people think, by the way, that their utility bill has gone down, they should vote for him. If they think jobs are more plentiful, they should vote for him.
You said yesterday, I'm going to quote you, Mr. Ryan, America is a place where if you work hard and play by the rules, you can get ahead. But the fact is, a lot of people don't think that's true anymore. They don't think the rules are fair. They think corporations and rich people are getting all these breaks, and they're getting stuck with paying the bills. they see some of the wealthiest paying the lowest tax rates. How are you going to fix that?
What I see is a new amount of crony capitalism and corporate welfare, which both parties have been engaged in, but the president has brought this to a whole new level, where President Obama is picking winners and losers based on connections, based on fads like Solyndra, and basically giving handouts to businesses, giving preferences to the tax code. We want to get Washington out of the business of picking winners and losers. We want entrepreneurs to have the barriers removed from in front of them so that people can work hard and succeed.